Hey everybody. I felt inspired to hop on here. I just had an amazing co-creating session with one of my good friends, and we were talking about the steps of manifestation. And something that came up that I've been realizing more and more is why I actually started my practical spirituality challenge is because no amount of practices and exercises and hacks on manifestation can beat doubt. You have to blast through that initial doubt before you can do, the hot dog shit, of instant manifestation and all these little tricks. And that was something that I didn't know for years, and I would beat my head against the wall about manifesting shit. What is that foundation though? How do you get through that first block to get to that next level? It's about the basics. It's about having a knowing of who you are and what your main purpose here is. So what is that? It's love. It's knowing that you have a higher self. And a great analogy that Wayne Dyer says in his book, I think it's Spiritual Awakening, I can't remember the exact title, but he explains it as we start out as actors, right? We're going through the motions, we're doing our part, not knowing that we have the power to control it. We're learning by doing and experiencing the trauma or the experience, and then learning through hindsight. And then once we move beyond an actor, we then add director in, where we then start to understand that, oh yeah, I do have control. I'm the dreamer of this reality, not the dream itself. And I can choose. You're not a master yet, but you're at that level where you can always come back to that higher knowing, that higher consciousness, to connect to your higher self. And it's about making it more and more of a habit of when you experience the contrast, not freaking out and redoing the same cycles you've been doing out of fear, but knowing I'm experiencing contrast right now. I'm experiencing fear right now. I need to connect. I'm just out of alignment right now. That's good. I don't need to figure it out. I just need to choose again. And the more you do that, making that a habit, is when you get to that hot dog shit. That's that third level stuff where you are the actor, director, and producer of the show. And that comes where you start to feel those signs of getting out of alignment. You start to anticipate certain outcomes where, like, there's been times where I can literally see in my mind, like, all the different outcomes that could play out. And I find myself choosing, like, yeah, I could be the old me and go that route, or play it out in my mind. Nope, don't want that. I don't need to put that in my physical reality. I can choose these. That's the hot dog shit. That's like master level, and you can do the little tricks and all that. But it's important to start out and be honest with yourself. Do you have a solid foundation? Because I didn't for years, and it was a shit show. It was literally like I tell my personal training clients that for the 10 years I was doing that, and now even. You can't shoot a cannon out of a canoe. You're just going everywhere. So that's why the most important step is connecting to your higher self. Connecting to everything. Because your higher self is your bridge to the divine, to everything, to the universe, God, whatever you believe in. And until you're connected, you're not doing anything. It's like a vacuum. It has to be plugged in to do stuff. So if you're operating from fear, you're not plugged in. If you really, really need it to happen, you're not plugged in. If you're feeling anxiety, like you need to do something, but you don't know what, you're not plugged in. And the greatest option is to plug in. So the steps of doing that, you gotta dispel doubt. That's the first thing. Stop doubting. You do it in movies all the time, and you're watching your movie, some sci-fi shit on there. You don't question it. You don't question it at all. Yeah, he could jump a building, no problem. So why not do it now? Why not trust and choose to believe that you are the dreamer of this reality, that you are creating constantly? That in the past, it hasn't been that way because you've been choosing to believe that you are not in control. You've been a part of the dream instead of being the dreamer. It's like Neo in the Matrix, right? He chooses the whatever pill he chooses, I don't know, red pill, whatever, what is it? And he goes in the Matrix. Well, he sees everybody else asleep and he's awake. Same shit. And there's going to be circumstances that bring you out of alignment. But you make it a habit of recognizing, like, oh, I'm out of alignment right now. Oh, plug back in. And then make a choice. So the first step is to dispel doubt. So if you're doubting, like, I don't know if it's possible. Like, I need proof that it's possible. That's doubt. So what are you going to choose? Because in this reality, if you want to manifest, you got to believe it to see it. You can't see it to believe it. So you're going to choose to believe that we are all one. You're going to choose to believe that you are the dreamer in this reality. The same as when you're asleep. You're stepping into this reality right now in the same state. You can create. You are creating. You are connected to everything and everyone. Are you choosing that? And so first level, like I said, doubt. Second level is choosing to connect to your higher self. And we do that by being the witness. So starting off by dispelling the doubt and then choosing to be the witness, the observer, recognizing that you are not this body. Like for instance, I am not Lindsay. I am the essence renting this Lindsay and her body. Meaning this personality. I'm renting it to experience this reality. Because everything happens in our mind. And our mind is like that virtual reality it's creating. Everything that has happened and going to happen is in through here. It's being created out here. So when you become the witness, you step out of the dream and realize, oh, I'm in a dream. I can create this. You start observing instead of attaching. And you start to become the essence of who you are, which is everything and everyone, that part of you that is eternal. As Wayne Dyer always says, he thinks of it as when someone's talking to him or trying to hurt him or in an argument, he reminds himself he can't get to who I really am, which is the thought, which is the essence, which is the energy, which is eternal, which is the divine. He can get to this body and personality, but he can't get to that. I allow who's going to get to that. Same thing. You're not struggling. The real you is not struggling. This personality is struggling. And once it's doubt, dispel doubt, and then become the witness, and that then allows you to start connecting to your higher self. But you got to be in that witness first. So how do you really truly lock in then? How do you truly start to operate from your higher self, from that God level? Love. When you're in ego, when you're in fear, when you're out of alignment, it becomes very hard to give because you're so worried and you're in lack. So you're creating more and more lack. How does God give everything? How does the universe always give? How does it never run out? You are that same thing. You are an extension of that. So when you start choosing love and stepping into your most fundamental purpose of spreading more love, of giving, of getting the energy moving, you operate from your higher self. And at first it's going to feel like you're faking it and it's going to feel awkward. But you cannot deny that feeling that comes from when you're just giving. And you're knowing that it's always going to be fulfilled, that you're going to get it back, that you're always supported because you're plugged in. Because you're operating in your fundamental purpose, which is to spread love and light. So go back. How can I love? How can I give? How can I serve from a place of wholeness? of just bringing love to other people. Because the problem is we get so focused on getting. Like, I need that. I need money. I need them to validate me. And that's operating from the ego, the lower self, the not plugged in version of you. And that's creating more lack. So it's seeing yourself as your higher self and choosing to operate from that place. And the more you do it, the more you see, wow, this does feel good. I don't have to worry about what I'm going to get back. I'm just doing my fundamental purpose. I'm being fully supported. I'm not seeing myself as separate anymore. I'm a part of the ocean of the universe. I am one. I am supported. I am everything. So what do I have to fear? And that alone holds that doubt back. And it creates a new habit of when you are feeling like you need something, or you're in fear and fight or flight, you always have that to plug back into. And that's the steps that I found have really helped me. Is first of all, just dispelling doubt for a hot minute. Like, okay, I'm choosing to believe this. Let's let this go for a minute. Let's become the witness of it. In that silence. Then choose love. Choose to fulfill your fundamental purpose in that state. Love. You will always get it back and more when you start operating and choosing love as a higher power. And let me tell you one thing too. Fear is really loud because it has to be. Because it has no power. It's an illusion and it knows it. It only gets bigger when you feed it your energy, your attention. When you feed the doubt. But understand, whatever you focus on expands. So the key here is understanding that, yeah, fear is going to be super loud. It's going to be in your face. But you can choose love. You can choose the higher power here. Because love is everything. You know that because it's quiet. God talks in the silence, not the loudness. It doesn't try and overpower because it knows its power. It has its own energy. And it just waits in the silence for you to see it. It knows it's going to be seen. It doesn't need to be seen. It's always there. But fear is like, look at me. Look at me. It's like that pushy salesman. So when it comes to manifesting, you can remind yourself that. Like, oh yeah, this is fear again. That doubt's coming in. That's not real. This is that pushy salesman. What's beneath the silence? And that's what I really wanted to get across today in this video. Especially if you're doubting, or you're feeling in fear, you're feeling lost, or you're feeling stuck with manifesting. You got to get back to the basics. Whenever I'm in doubt, whenever I feel overwhelmed, I go back to that one question. How can I give? How can I serve? How can I love? How can I fulfill my fundamental inner purpose? And then that outer purpose always comes. The inspired action always comes. The manifestation will come. Stick to the basics. Get your foundations in order. And it happens a lot quicker than you think. Commit to love. Commit to being love. Commit to spreading love. And seeing how you can give instead of receive. Because I promise you, when you're giving, you're putting out the energy of abundance, of limitless creation, of everything. Instead, when you're trying to get, that's lack. That's pushing away. So I hope this helped you today. And you can drop me a comment, subscribe, whatever you feel inspired to do. You can reach out to me as well for a one-on-one session or one-on-one work coaching long-term. Not long-term. I don't like keeping you. I'd say like 3 months tops. But this is important. This is something that really humbled me this past couple months, and I want to share with you all. So like I said, I love you. Thanks for watching. Share, subscribe, comment with any insights you got, questions. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.